Yo, what is up, guys? Huge thing coming out for Heroes. Everybody is legitimately getting links now. Heroes now have a new hero monster named X Hero, and he's a new guy. And also, Shaddolls plus also Inzektors are getting some new support in link format. But anyways, let's go and check out some of these new cards. I'm really excited about the hero one. Hopefully, Stratos will be off the ban list eventually. But anyways, jokes aside, Extra Hero Wonder Driver is his name. And he is a Link to Light Warrior Link Effect monster. And he's got 1900 attack. And his Link zones are actually in the top and the bottom. And anyways, he requires 2 hero monsters to make him, and it says you can only use this card's name first effect once per turn. And the first effect says if a hero monster is normal or special summoned to your zone that this card points to, target 1 fusion or polymerization or change or quick play spell that's in your graveyard, and you get to set it to your field. The second effect is if this card is destroyed by a battle or in its owner's possession is destroyed by opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 hero monster from your hand. Alright, that's kind of cool. Nothing, I think, too insanely game-breaking. However, it's cool to see at least they're getting some support. You guys can let me know if is it really even that good? I mean, obviously, targeting 1 fusion polymerization, there's already cards that like recycle that. It is nice that you're able to set the quick play. It definitely helps out in the OCG because of the mass change. I think it's at like 1 or something like that. Let me just double check on that. Also, it's a little bit nicer in the OCG, I would say, but overall, as far as mask change, like I said, in the OCG, I believe it's at mass change second is the one that's at 1 in the OCG. Regular mass change is at multiple. But what else can you set? More importantly, though, in the OCG, one really important card is Super Poly, and that's banned in the TCG. However, in the OCG, it is at 1. I would say that that's probably the most viable card that you can really set. But anyways, you guys can let me know if there's any cool combos with it. But anyways, next up we're looking at the White Aura Monoceros over here. And anyways, it's a new synchro monster that has 2500 attack and 1500 defense points. It is a water monster, and it's level 7, and its materials is 1 water tuner and 1 plus non-tuner monsters. And it says you can only use this card's name's first effect once per turn. When this card is synchro summoned, you can target 1 fish monster in your graveyard to special summon it, but it cannot attack during this turn. The second effect says if this card you control is destroyed by an opponent's card, either by battle or by card effect, and sent to your graveyard, you can banish 1 other water monster in your graveyard to special summon this card. If you do, it is treated as a tuner. Oh, it's kind of the support for some of the White Aura, like whale, dolphin stuff. Not really like a popular archetype. I mean, I've seen some people use it, but for the most part, it might be an archetype in the future, but as of right now, it just looks like some extra deck cards. Next up, we have some new OCG cards. White Salvation as a continuous spell card. It says you can only use this card's name first effect once per turn. First effect says you can target 1 fish monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. The second effect says if this card is destroyed by your opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can take 1 fish monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or special summon it. That is a pretty cool effect. The second effect is White Howling. It's a normal trap card. It says if you control a water monster, target 1 spell in your opponent's graveyard and banish it. If you do, for the rest of the turn, negate all spell effects on your opponent's field. Yeah, it's kind of a cool effect, but overall, again, it's just too mediocre, I think, for people to really get excited about. But more importantly, let's check out the new Inzektor, the new Shaddoll Link monster. That's what I'm really actually hyped up about. But the first one we're checking out is Inzektor Picofalena. So it's a link rating of a 2 insect link effect monster. It's got only 1000 attack. Its link arrows are in the bottom left and bottom right. The link materials are 2 insect monsters, and it says you can only use each effect among the first and second effects with this card's name once per turn. The first effect says if this card is linked summoned, you discard 1 card, then target 1 other insect monster you control. You equip 1 insect monster from your deck that is an equipped spell with this effect. Wow! The equipped monster gains 500 attack and defense. And the second effect says you can target 3 insect monsters in your graveyard, shuffle them in the deck, and draw a card. Wow, that's like a pot of avarice. That's actually really good for just any insect deck. Wow, that is really cool. It does have to equip an insect, so it supports Oh, what is that other thing that like generates the tokens? It's not insect. Well, I think it's insect queen. They had some support for some other insect that I just didn't think it was going to be like super hot, but nonetheless, it might be a little bit better with the new Inzektor Picofalena. But next up we have Crowley, the source of prophecy. Wow, dude, we're going back with Spellbooks support. So if you guys don't know, prophecy and Spellbooks, like the magician of prophecy, those were part of like the archetype. But anyways, this is the card's artwork over here. I believe it's in the, is this in the bottom right? I believe this is the insect one over here. But anyways, checking out the, I think it's in the bottom right. Whoops, we're in the wrong link. All right, so this one over here is the, again, the Crowley, the origin source of prophecy. It's a link rating 2 dark spellcaster with 1000 attack. Link arrows bottom left, bottom right, and it requires 2 spellcaster monsters. It says you can only use the first effect with this card's name once per turn. If this card is linked 7, you can reveal 3 spellbook cards with different names from your deck. Your opponent randomly release one of them and shuffle the rest back into the deck. The second effect is each turn, 1 level 5 or higher spellcaster monster you normal summon can be normal, can summon without tributing. Well, it actually helps out with a lot of the spellbook cards. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. But if you guys know any combos with it that would like break the game, let me know down below, because the spellbooks, I mean, they have a lot of searchability in the game. There's a combo with Treasure Pander. I'll probably make a dedicated video towards that specifically, but it's like an Exodia build, and that can obviously kind of help out with some consistency in the deck, because being able to make this card is actually really easy, because you actually do want to get your Exodia pieces in the graveyard. But anyways, next up, the card that I'm actually really excited about is the new Shaddoll one. That's in the bottom left. You guys can see the link zones on the left and the right. It's a link of 2, and the attack is 1200. But let's go ahead and check it out. So, yeah, middle left, middle right. Link materials are 2 flip effect monsters. So it says you can only use each effect amongst the first and second effects with this card's name once per turn. The first effect says during your main phase, you can fusion summon 1 Shaddoll fusion monster from your extract using monsters from your hand or your side of the field as fusion materials. That's actually pretty good. And the second effect is if this card is in your graveyard, you can send 1 Shaddoll card from your hand or face it from the field. And if you do, special summon this card from your graveyard. Wow, that is actually a really good effect. Does it make Shaddolls much more viable if they put Construct at 1? I would say that, oh, this is actually Shaddoll Construct. Wait, what? The Shaddoll Construct, it came back, but in another form? Well, that one is technically L Shaddoll Construct, right? Shaddoll Construct is back at 3? I might title the video that Kappa, but it's not clickbait. I don't know, because Shaddoll Construct is back in the link form. That is, again, it really needs, like, I really just want that other card at 1. Anyways, we got some extra new cards to check out. We got a few of them, but more new cards from the Powercode Link. So it says it includes 2 incredibly hyperlinked monsters. Let's see if that's overly hyped up. Oh, we got Garbage Collector. Oh, that's why I'm interested in making some garbage Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Anyways, Garbage Collector. I guess if you beat your opponent, you're like, I'm collecting the garbage. Disrespectful. Anyways, there's Garbage Collector, level 2 Wind Cyberse effect monster with 100 attack, 1900 defense. It says this card's name effect can only used once per turn. It says you can target 1 Cyberse monster you control except for this card. Return that card to the hand if you do special 1 Cyberse monster from your deck with the same level and a different name than the monster that was returned to the hand. That's actually kind of cool. Anyways, next up, I really don't know Cyberse effect that much. You guys can let me know if it's actually that good. I haven't seen too many people talking about it though. But anyways, Flame Buffalo. That's the card over here on the, I want to say on the left side. And it's a level 3 Fire Cyberse effect monster, 1400 attack, 200 defense points. This card's name can only be used once per turn, and if this face-up card leaves the field, discard 1 Cyberse monster. If you do it, just draw 2 cards. Okay, that's kind of a cool effect. Next up, Segmental Dragon over here, a level 7 Light Cyberse effect monster, 2600 attack, 24 defense points. The first effect says you can normal summon this card or set this card without tributing. If this card is normal summon or set by the above method, its original attack and defense are halved. Once per turn, if this card was normal summoned or set, quick effect, you can destroy this face-up card. And if you destroy all monsters in the main zones whose attack is equal or lower than this card's attack. Actually, that's a pretty cool potential effect, but is anyone going to play it? I don't know. You guys can let me know about that down below. Next up, we have Lady Debugger over here. I'm going to zoom up on her over here, and then it looks like we got a new field spell. So let's go and check her out. So she's level 4 Light Cyber, 1700 attack, 1400 defense points. This card's name effectively only used once per turn. If this card is normal or special, you get to add 1 level 3 lower Cyberse monster from your deck to your hand. Next up, we have the Cybernet TCG style Cynet Storm as a field. Oh, that's the field spell over here. And it says, link monsters on the field and gain 500 attack and defense. Link summon of a monster cannot be negated. And then if you take 2,000 or more damage from a battle card effect, you can activate this effect, shuffle the face down cards in your extra deck. And if you do, excavate the top of those cards. If it's a Cyber Link monster, special summon, otherwise return it to its original person. What? That is kind of crazy. That you could just... you just excavate cards? What? Dude, that's so... You shuffle your extra deck? That is so interesting. I mean, what? Is there any really insane cards? I feel like this card could be kind of a prank. I mean, it's got some, like, mediocre effects. But that third effect, potential, right? Potential. Anyways, next up we have Traffic Ghost. It's a vanilla link. It's just 3 monsters. Next up we have the Lanfolinkus, and it's just another one of those vanilla links. Alright. And also, the Trickstar Madonna. We actually talked about this a while as an anime effect. It looks like they just like straight up gave its full effect. If you guys didn't catch it, it's pretty, I believe it's like the exact same effects. But anyways, you can only use this card named second effect once per turn. But anyways, well, this card is link summon and it does not point to any monsters. It's unaffected by effects other than from other cards. And then the second effect is if this card does not point to any monsters, you can inflict 200 damage to your opponent for each Trickstar monster in your graveyard with a different name. Yeah, like I mentioned before, like a lot of people were freaking out, like they got a towers, but it's kind of conditional. Like obviously, if they just make this monster in their extra zone, you just summon a monster and you just bounce it back because it's pointing to a monster anyways. Wait, we got even more Trickstars? Oh my gosh. What? Okay, we got other things. Okay, still got stuff to talk about. Wow. So much Yu-Gi-Oh! News today. But anyways, next up we have the Trickstar Mandrake, and she is a 0 attack, 1000 defense, and it says you can only use this card's name and first and second defense once per turn each. So the first effect says if this card was sent from the hand to the graveyard, you can spell summon this card in face-up defense position, but banish it when it leaves the field. The second effect says if this card is sent to the graveyard as a material for the link summon of a Trickstar monster, you can target one monster, a link monster your opponent controls to, and destroy it. Let's zoom up on the picture because the Trickstars, they always got good artwork. I like the girl on the left much better. But anyways, we're checking out the other card, the Trickstar Nightshade, which is the one on the left. And oh, I'm sorry, the one on the right. Mandrake is the one on the left because that is a level 2. Okay, so the Trickstar Nightshade, even though I feel like Nightshade should be the one on the left because it's purple. But anyways, this one is a level 1 with 100 attack, 0 defense. It says you can only use this card name effect once per turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard as material for the link summon or Trickstar monster, you can special summon this card from the graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. I guess you could exceed over it and then it doesn't go away. Interesting stuff. It looks like they really want you to link summon with Trickstars. Currently, like most people just like play the deck without it and they win, but I don't know. Next up we have Gouki support. Gouki the Master Ogre. So he's a link level 4. 2800 attack. Links are in top, bottom left, bottom, and bottom right. It requires 2+ Gouki monsters. The first effect reads once per turn as a quick effect. You can return any number of Gouki monsters that this card points to the hand. Then target that many face-up cards your opponent controls and negate the effects of those cards until the end of this turn. The second effect says this card can attack all of your opponent's monsters once each while your opponent controls a face-up monster or monsters. This card can only target the monster your opponent controls with the highest attack for attack. Okay, I really don't know Gouki too much, but if this really helps other deck, let me know. I just haven't seen that deck see very much play. Looks like we got 3 more Gouki cards. We got Gouki Octo Stretch. So it's a level 1 Earth Warrior effect monster with 0/0. You can only use this card's name third effect once per turn. The first effect says if an opponent's monster attacks during damage calculation, you can discard the card and half the battle damage taken from the battle. The second effect says when your opponent activates a card effect that would inflict damage to you, including during the damage, as a quick effect, you can discard it to half the damage you would take from that effect. The third effect says if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you could add 1 Gouki card from your deck to your hand, except for Gouki Manjalon. So that's kind of cool. I mean, again, Trickstars, you would have a searchability, you'd get rid of a card, not that bad, but the problem is the Trickstars effects, they're really mediocre in terms of how much, like, you're negating. It's usually 100. However, being able to search out a card obviously can be good for that specific matchup, unless there's like a generic Gouki card, which we'll check it out. Let's see. Okay, next up we have the Gouki Hugbear. That's the level 6. I guess I'll zoom up on him. Let's check him out. So he's the Hugbear. I guess are they wrestlers? I didn't know what the Gyokis were. But anyways, Gouki Hugbear is a level 6 Earth Warrior effect monster with 2400 attack, 0 defense points. It says you can only use this card named first and second effects once per turn each. And it says as the first effect, if this card is normal summon or special summon by a Gouki card effect, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. His attack becomes half its original attack until the end of this turn. The second effect says if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one Gouki card from your deck to your hand, except for itself. The other card is the Gouki face turn, which is the normal spell card that says you can only activate one card with a stamina per turn. And it says target one Gouki card. You control one Gouki monster in graveyard. Destroy the first target, and if you do spell summon the second target from your graveyard. That's actually a really good card. Let you cycle through like whatever you want to go for. Pretty good stuff. And the last thing that I wanted to mention was the Link Vrains Box, which, like, dude, it's got so much good stuff at the moment. Here's a reminder of the product description. So it has a bunch of cards. I'm assuming it's going to come with a bunch of Link stuff. And I guess, I'm not sure, I want to assume that what's right here is guaranteed on the product box, or it might just be some of the cards just there. It says it's featuring 4 of the alternate artworks of certain character ace monsters. Like I said, I want to say that you guarantee those. I'm not sure if we're getting this in the TCG. It doesn't come out technically until the end of December for the OCG, so we might not get this until like maybe like March or something like that. It's looking pretty good. It costs 3,000 yen, which is about 24 to 25. I think it's like 25 bucks, about somewhere around there. Yeah, it's gonna be including a lot of really good stuff. It says set of 4 ultra secret rare card inclusions of the new cards not mentioned, but I want to say that these are the 4 cards. And it says set of 20 ultra rare cards including new cards, and then 1 pack of each Code of the Duelist, Circuit Break, and Extreme Force, and a special storage box, and you get some a card case and some sleeves. So that's really cool. Again, we might get these in another form, tins, or I hope we get something like this. I mean, this thing looks pretty dang cool for any of these guys that are interested in like the anime show. You usually buy this, you get all. I'm assuming again that you get like those ace monsters, because that makes more sense to me. But anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts on any of the cards that we talked about. I really wish that the Shaddoll card was much better, honestly. I feel kind of let down by it. I really wish, I mean, it is Construct, but I'm hoping that in the future we'll get El Shaddoll Construct at 1, because I think that would really boost Shaddoll players' morale and interest in actually trying the deck, because that was their ace monster. They lost it. At least one. Give us 1 Construct. And the Inzektor card is great. I like it a lot. It's got some great artwork. But anyways, let me know your guys' thoughts, and if you guys have any cool combos with some of the cards that we mentioned, let me know down below. Kind of disappointed by the hero monster though, honestly, but who knows, maybe, like I said, one of you guys can figure out a cool combo with some of the cards that we talked about. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing all those new Yu-Gi-Oh cards in one video. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for more new Yu-Gi-Oh cards as soon as they get announced.